Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the Beyond the Summit. It's listed as the Summit 5 tag, but that's actually not correct. It's actually the Summit 8 qualifiers. We're going to take a look into the CIS region, the Brestomans facing off against Vega Squadron. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Trent Pax. My man, how you doing?
Hello, hello. Good morning.
Morning.
This is the value ticket, man. There's a couple of these lovely tickets you can get in Dota that give you access to like a billion games.
Oh yeah.
And this one is certainly no exception.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's been around a little while. It's been around the block, and you know, we're back at it again. It feels like Dota is just continuing to move along at a breakneck pace. Like, you were just in Croatia. Literally, we're on the plane still. I called you up. I was like, hey, come join me. We're gonna cast some Dota. It's gonna be great. And it just never stops. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I slept, I got up, and here we are. So it's like 24 hours of travel. It's hard to get there, but maybe that's why it looks so nice. You know, there's lots of nature, the beach and everything, pretty secluded. Excellent time. So thank you to them, but we must press on. There's more Dota to be played. The Brestomans, I've cast these guys a couple times. I love that guy's name, Killomancer. Big fan. Terrifying. Hopefully he'll play some Venomancer. And then Vega Squadron, who I have.
What are you even saying? My God, you're hoping for a Venomancer.
It makes sense. It's a must-have.
God.
But I haven't seen Vega since Asus, when they were at that little event there. But it looks like obviously they lost the qualifier to Empire, so this is kind of the next big thing, right? We have a month of qualifiers happening here. It's kind of the same thing as before all these lands we just had.
Yeah, and I mean, you wouldn't have seen it because they're playing just yesterday in the Dream League qualifiers. But like I said, so the Vega Squadron, another one of those teams that's been playing in all of those different qualifiers that have been happening, as well as actual LAN events, like you were talking about that Asus one that happened a little while ago. I do have to confess to everybody out there that I'm still getting over a little bit of a cold. I should be fine throughout the whole game, but if I go silent for a second, I'm muting my microphone to everybody except for Trent. Trent can hear me cough. But everybody else is clear from it. I can
appropriately carry you, then. I'll know when you're dying.
That's great.
It'll be perfecto. All right, best offlaner, Dota 2. It's Brewmaster. I don't know how this guy makes it this far. Well, I can tell you why, because only one other offlaner got banned, and he's the real best offlaner, but he doesn't count because you're never going to see him again. It's Beastmaster. That guy is insane. He is so strong. He can do everything. So he needs a little bit of the tone down, but we look through the rest of the draft, guys. Where are the offlaner bans? Oh, there aren't any.
Yeah,
I think Brewmaster can probably slot it in there. Other than Brewmaster, I don't even know who the next best offlaner is. Like, to me, offlane is like Poopville right now. Not exciting.
Well, and it's weird because it felt like that was the position. Well, it was always really 4 depending upon the team that you looked at. But there were certain teams where you did really ban out that offlaner more often than not in the first round. But I don't know if it's just they're getting trashed or maybe it's the return to the dual offlane that's prompted this type of change. But whatever the case is, I guess Vega Squad, or rather Brestomans, are going to feel pretty happy that they're able to get that at this rate. But likewise, Vega Squadron get IO. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and they left Bat, who's like one of the best offlaners to play with IO. So I imagine they're considering a Bat Rider draft right here and a pick here. They could wait one and just maybe they'd be able to see what Brestomans take as their position 1. So if you don't take Bat Rider here, you might lull them into picking. Oh, all right. Well, I was thinking you could get away with them getting some sort of a safe laner that sucks against Bat Rider, which could have been good. But Center War Runner kind of works too. Nice relocate potential, lots of movement for your entire team so they can swarm onto a target.
Yeah, that's 2 saves that they now have. One of them coming from the offlane position, most likely, unless this is going to be the rarely seen Centaur in the position 1 role, which I really doubt what's going to happen. But it's kind of a weird hero. Why don't we see this hero more often?
I don't know. He seems to be back right now. We're talking about like the offlane, and it's kind of regressing. It feels like we're going back to some of those heroes that need to be really survivable. You think about who was really popular in the offlane last patch. It was basically Puck and Venomancer could be picked up nice and early, and then they just threw him to the offlane, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to do fine. Life will be good. Now both of those heroes got nerfed. Puck still pretty strong. Venomancer probably still okay as well, but...
Ooh.
Yeah, I think we're just kind of Mr. Survival kind of stuff is making its way back. Might see some more Darkseers and stuff, but you know, I just turned on the Vici LGD game for a second and saw that really early gyro pick, and I was like, man, I'm not so sure, but here we go. The Brestomans are believers. Now, I believe when I was casting them before, they had also actually picked Gyrocopter then, and I was really surprised. This was like months ago.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of got a thing for this hero.
Well, and it's quite a strong hero with everything else that they've got, too. Look at the rest of the lineup. Fight, 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 fight. You know, Bane, obviously great at setting up ganks, but also he can tend to stay a little bit more survivable if there's not, like, huge AoE or the big single-target blow-up spells. And then, of course, you know, some good lockdown with the other heroes. But Storm Spirit taken... I don't know if this is going to be enough team fight from Vega. Are you at all concerned about that, or what do you think of the Storm pick?
I think they still have a lot of room with the last pick. They can go for the Sven or the CK are both left in, and both of those provide one more stun to help yourselves out. So I really like the CK potential to immediately blow up the Brewmaster. Like you can just have Storm Spirit jump on top, and then the mobility of the IO CK just trying to explode. Yeah, see, Sven can do the same thing, I guess, but I'm honestly a little more worried about CK, so I think this looks pretty good for Vega. I guess Brestomans are saying at least we have Gyro, so we have the AoE damage. We can therefore deal with CK a lot better. We also have the Dispel from the Brewmaster. So maybe, although the Dispel is kind of weak in dealing with summons in general, when it's combined with the Flat Cannon, that'll be enough to take care of it. So in that sense, they've kind of set themselves up well enough for the CK to come out.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of an interesting one because I feel like Gyrocopter, if he's even on farm with the CK, will just get blown up. But maybe with like that Flat Cannon talent a little bit earlier on, you could accelerate and farm quick enough. They're actually going to go for a Life Stealer, so a lot of Infest Bomb potential here.
Yeah, I think it was just enough for them to say, okay, maybe CK's not that great. In the end, it just means that I'll be focusing more with the Storm Spirit. It'll be a nice little mana battery hero, as EG used to say. Try and keep him rolling through these fights. And then, of course, the Infest Classic. This is nice. Centaur saw most of his success with the Sunstrikes when he was last being picked. So he can just like go crazy once he hit a Blink Dagger. Now we're just going to be doing that with Infest Bombs. And that's going to be a lot of space creation from these 4 heroes to help Storm Spirit through that little bit of a lull at the start of the game before he gets into the Bloodstone. Mirana is still in the pool. Might be a decent chance here. Could also go for something a little bit more survivable, like a Razor.
I mean, that's sort of the classic combo with the Mirana. I guess Razor you could say too, because you can static link while it's happening. Although I guess it might be a little bit weird now, because wouldn't you wake up the hero from the sleep with your passive?
I guess you would, yeah. After the 1 second of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Maybe you can stay far enough back. It is pretty short.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, hey, Nightmare into the Rocket was I remember we used to try and do that all the time when we were playing. So my friends and I thought it was always really funny when the Rocket was like even like the worst skill in the game. Before maxing it was cool, but
ooh,
select your heroes.
I mean, that's a really great hero against the Storm Spirit in lane at the very least.
Yep. Decent against Io as well. Can kind of hop on top, try and blow him up as fast as possible. Lots of early game magic damage from Queen, Gyro, Sand King. Some mega hood value. This Centaur Warrunner is going to be unkillable, actually.
Yeah.
So is this Lifestealer. They have Rage. If he buys a hood early on, I think they could have a hard time bringing down a couple of these heroes. The lockdown overall, though, the Sand King, the early Orchid from the Queen of Pain, Bane being there to kind of help things out. All right. I kind of like Vega's draft a little bit better. I feel like this is one of the rare times I look at a Centaur and I go, oh, okay, this could be like a pretty good game for this guy.
Yeah. Well, they certainly have the particle effects on their side. Holy crap, look at this axe that the Centaur has. This thing is terrifying.
That's a little out there, dude. Why is it electric?
I have no idea.
On here?
I mean, he's with Storm Spirit, so maybe there's a little bit of action going on there as well. But regardless, it's going to be game number 1 for the CIS Qualifiers, the Brestomans versus Vega Squadron. And I kind of have to agree with you. Vega Squadron, to me, feels like they've kind of got the pieces to make this all work. The Infest ganks, the relocate ganks potentially even. And while Brestomans do have some heroes that can deal with it, like, I feel like if Killomancer isn't in the area, they don't really have much of a counterplay except just trying to out DPS them, which I don't know if that's going to work. So
let's see how the laning setups go.
Yeah, that's always the big tell-all. So let's head on out. The inaugural pause that always comes about in these games. Did they change it where you no longer line up together at the start, or what happened?
Oh yeah,
I like that.
well, actually, it looks like the Dire are still lined up, and 2 of them have moved. I don't know. I think TBM are just mega fast.
Okay.
I mean, you can start clicking before the screen has even like faded away, and you can be moving.
That's true. Well, clearly that means that Vega are more prepared to win this. They got there quicker. But no TPs out. I mean, that's the thing that I was gonna say is like you don't have those that early potential anymore. Do you think that that's gonna mean that we're gonna see more early fights nowadays? Was that something that you noticed a ton at Dota Pit?
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of smoking at the bounty runes. It tends to be that the Dire team just takes these 2 down here. You guys see where pink are circling, and the Radiant tend to just get these 2. Yeah, look at the rap that Bane's saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exactly what we're looking at here. It's just if you want to go aggressive, I think you try and head in towards like your own safe lane. It's honestly where you're more likely to find opponents. It feels like these days.
Okay. Ooh, are they gonna run into each other in the river? Slayer walking forward, smoke breaks. They could get into a little bit of a fight here. It's actually the IO that's leading the way, and TBM gonna chase off Vega, at least for now.
Yeah, good choice. I don't think it's worth it. Just nightmaring or anything there. Look at all these invulnerable buildings. They don't even have health bars.
Where's that at? Oh, down.
I don't know. Does your tier 1 have health bars?
No, it doesn't. That's really weird.
Yeah, all right, I'm not crazy. Just making sure.
None of them do. Why are there no health bars? What the hell's happening?
I think they just don't appear until after the horn now or something.
Really? That's kind of strange. I wonder if they're actually invulnerable.
Look, it's got invulnerable tagged on it, see? Isn't that nice?
Oh, yeah.
Valve took the, they saw all those gifs of like the IO and like the Alchemist destroying thrones through backdoor, and they're like, all right, we're just going to put this all, nip it in the bud, try and find as many ridiculous tower things as we can.
That's kind of interesting.
Maybe there was some beta tester who was just walking into the fog near one of these towers and just less racking. You just like smoke mid, put on Diabolic Edict, and like tango your way next to the tier 1. You could actually do so much damage early on.
Oh, I bet. So the thing that I'm curious about is if like those towers, it's always going to show the health bars, or if it's not going to show the health bars. You know what I mean? Like if you have backdoor protection up, will it still show the health bars?
Oh,
I'm sure it would, right?
They're not invulnerable. It's only invulnerable until you remove the tier 1.
Got it.
Yeah, we're A-okay. No
Sounds good.
Snipes though. Safely returning home. No one even looking for the snipe.
What a world we live in now.
I tell you.
But it is still also going to be the sort of dual hero mid, so that's not changing at the very least.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, overall, I like the Centaur in general once he has some items, but you can see right now, this is a bit of a classic, right?
Yeah.
Rocket barrage right in. Trying to block. Wait, what?
He did not take much damage from that.
It was like invisible.
Yeah, what the hell?
That was weird. I guess he was just too far away or something.
Man.
I find it, but yeah, his early game is gonna be real rough.
Look at this Bane just bullying Afterlife away. He does so much freaking damage.
And you guys know when you're like, why is Bane first pick? He doesn't do anything or stuff like that in the laning phase. Like I don't know. There's some people that don't seem convinced by the hero. This is the kind of stuff where it's just there's not many supports that can do this. If you're like a witch doctor or something, he's just gonna walk on you, but he doesn't have an answer to a Bane.
I will say I'm not convinced by this Nightmare build first. Like I can understand the idea of wanting to set up for it, but that spell is so expensive. And you think about what he would have gotten from that. It's like, what, 3 brain saps? Maybe 4 brain saps for the 2 nightmares that he uses? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I think you need the nightmare or else he'll just keep walking on you as the centaur, though. Especially once he has boots. But...
Fair enough.
All right, they grab the bounty wins here. Nicely done. Zoning out with the IO. Man, that's actually so crazy for IO.
Yeah.
You can dual mid like that, come down right at the moment, and then pair up with your offlane and zone them off the bounties.
Also, Slayer was able to steal a bounty rune too, so that's 3 bounty runes for Vega Squadron. Oh, pull back in. Gonna deal a lot of damage to Killomancer here, and had the illusion rune to help with that. Kind of a neat little play there by Vega.
I actually thought it was a real Storm Spirit. I was just looking on the main map. I was like, oh, he's dead. I was like, oh. It's illusions.
Yeah. Got him.
Top lane, much easier for last hero. His lane, no problemo. I mean, Slayer's pulling. Pulling sucks. Nobody likes pulling anymore. It's terrible, but he's still gonna do it. Doesn't feel nearly as satisfying as the previous patch. And it's pretty much just a free time for Mr. Last Hero here. So he's level 3 1/4, while Centaur is 2 1/4. Full remote.
I mean, how much worse is it though? Because you can still connect the pull, right?
Yeah, but the problem is you can't do that pull from the hard camp into the wave quite as easily, like up in the top. So
okay,
it's much harder without the offlaner contesting it. So just overall, it's a lot weaker. It's much harder to like chain pull through.
okay. Well, top lane, they're going on to this Brewmaster and still saving the lift. Going to be able to pull him back in, and this should be our first blood. Nice play there by Vega.
A bit greedy there, but you have to play aggressive on the Brewmaster. So I guess it's just kind of bound to happen if the Rubik makes that nice rotation. Circle, there's like a circle from the Sand King saying, hey, this guy is mega low over here. I'm going for it, but he's getting bottled up right now. Yeah,
this could actually end up being a little bit of a trap as Kilomancer going to take some damage. She doesn't want to expend any of his mana right now. Kilomancer actually going the other way?
He's trying to make like a bait play towards the Bane so they can do some sort of like bounty range shenanigans. Now there's 3 heroes here, so...
Oh, they're not going to be able to punish. Couldn't get in range for the hoof stomp. So, ends up being a pretty nice play. They get both of the bounty runes again.
Oh, top lane. Low heading should be fine, actually. Use the mango. Pops it for the slow.
Yeah. Also hanging on to those stick charges and brings himself out of salve. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of inopportune timing. Kept it in his backpack and had to switch it over now. So, we'll be able to use it finally. But early CS scene-wise, at the very least, it's looking like TBM a little bit better off. Brestomans making it happen. In spite of the death on the Brewmaster, he's still getting a lot out of this lane.
Yeah, he's part of the biggest differential in this game right now. He's got 16 last hits, and Centaur has 1. Glorious amounts here.
Ugh.
Everything else about Centaur looks great this game. The laning phase, not so much.
Yeah. Well, he stomps there, gets a couple of
sad
CS.
Hero, dude.
Yeah, that's really sad. Now trying to move into range. Oh god, is he gonna get caught and killed? They have another brain sap? No, they actually don't, but Gyrocopter's quick enough.
Delivered those phase boots.
Ugh.
See, that never would have happened. Well, maybe he would have just had the phase boots, I suppose, but at the very least, they were never couriered out. Just side shop them, but alright, nicely done.
Really well played. So again, the pull gonna come out. Slayer gonna do this one. He will be able to go for the connection as well. Got a stack on it. So this should end up getting him a decent amount of farm here. But again, it's going to be the Brew able to come and contest and probably mess things up. Yeah.
Now we just start sniping out our 6-minute runes.
Oh.
So that Dire should get the majority of them here. Last year, we were close here.
Yeah. Oh, and he's also going to be slowed down again. They're trying to bring in the Lifestealer.
They need a lot of body blocks. I mean, this has to be absurd.
He's not going to be able to get it, it looks like. Although they're still moving into range with the real U. Aloha Dance going to have to call it off, I think. Nightmare there, traded off. We're going to be able to turn this back around now, trying to bring down the Bane. Very close to falling, but with that Shrine going, Vega might have overstayed their welcome, and now Life's still going to be punished. He does have an Infest. He can hop inside of one of these heroes if he wants to, as they brought in the Queen of Pain, and it looks like with Tether up, Vega should be okay. Nobody going down here.
Yeah, that raindrop as well, just reducing a lot of the damage from the Scream, and Zayak's like, okay, I'm not going to get ultied now. Everything's going to be fine. You can tell, like, I really want to throw that open, so just because you have the Arcane Rune too, right? So it's just that moment when you'd love to try and find that kill.
Oh, for sure. Real U hops inside of a creep, that's going to keep him alive. Still holding on to that Arcane Rune for a little while longer. We'll see if Quap thinks about doing anything else with it. Still holding on to those 15 sick charges as well, means it could be tough for G to find the kill, even though he got his level 6.
Bottom lane,
ooh. They find one.
Wave was pushing in, but yeah, top lane, they grabbed a kill on the Brewmaster. And Bane and him were playing pretty aggressive too, and they didn't get any damage on these Dire heroes, so.
Oh, the Aloha, he used his phase boots a little bit early. And because that couldn't get through the creeps. They are bringing back in the Brew, and he does have not quite level 6. But we'll be able to punch Slayer. That's a lot of damage there with the Brain Sap as well. Slayer turns it back around, and oh, the real you trying to bring down the Bane. He might be able to get the kill. They turn it around completely.
Damn. Again. 3-1. This lane's pretty strong, and just more space for the Storm Spirit. So bottom lane Afterlife has been getting some waves too. Looks like Gyro's now trying to bring it back a little bit here, but
stupendous.
Overall, it's just kind of free experience for Afterlife.
Yeah. Well, very good stuff indeed. And we still talked about it. It's only about 1,000 gold lead, and it's actually into the favor of the Brestomans. In spite of all those kills that have happened up there, it's still just been the Brewmaster getting a lot. And likewise, they're going to be able to find the Centaur, try and bring him down, and well, Afterlife dies. This is starting to look pretty bad for the Centaur.
Yeah, position 5 Centaur. I don't know, maybe he should have found some way into the jungle, but without his Tranquil Boots, there's no point trying to go, so he's just kind of stuck looking for that. Maybe they could have found some sort of rotation, but maybe bringing the Lifestealer down bottom too could have been an option to try and go up against the Gyro. It's a pretty nice matchup early on in the game with the Rage. Try and get a couple kills and then just like lane your Lifestealer down here. Instead, it's Afterlife heading to the mid lane, so that's also fine. Storm Spirit likes to jungle around this time. So now they gotta look to try and hold these side lanes, but Rubik and Io can clean up a little bit of the waves that come through. However, I don't think they can hold this tower.
I mean, you said that this was always going to be the issue for Vega, was the laning stage for Centaur. Are you still feeling like they're in an okay position because they were kind of anticipating that he wasn't going to get a lot anyways, or is this much less than they were expecting?
I think it's fine. I mean, it's not a disaster, right? It's only like a 1k lead right now. They have a level 6 Brewmaster. If he can get some stuff going, Queen of Pain still hasn't even found anything yet, which, like, this game, I think, could be a lot worse for the Dire. There could have been a couple kills from the Queen of Pain by now, right? Who had 6 for a while. She's now 7. They're now grouping up to try and get some objectives for themselves, so this is where things should start tallying up for the Radiant, and then when things look like they're in trouble, that's when Last Hero can just TP in. He definitely needs a TP on the Brewmaster too, so he can show up in these fights with the ulti.
Okay. Well, obviously wants to save up for his Blink Dagger as well if he can get to that, but maybe get it quicker if you end up moving in a little bit more often. The real you able to run to the side shop. That's actually something that I hadn't seen a lot of yet, is you actually can get all the way to the side shop now as a safe lane carry.
I'll take your tribute.
Pretty snazzy.
Yeah. Quality of life. But Vega Squadron now, they have a catapult wave. We'll see if they try and do a single pull. It looks like that's the plan, as the real you is farming the hard camp. So they should be able to push with this. We'll see if they bring in other heroes.
Brew has his TP, so he's ready to finally show up here in case something goes wrong. He's trying to force the jump back from G and secure this tower. Nice invis rune to help scout things out here for Zayak, but don't see any sentries.
No.
Doesn't look like they have an answer though. They're just content to try and farm a little bit. There's a TP now picks up from Afterlife. Sadly, his Tranquil Boots will be at home thanks to the side shop changes.
Yeah. Well, they are bringing back in one. There's a TP coming in from the Rubik. Again, it's going to be a big wave that's pushing into the top lane here. But the tower is already taken mid, and now trying to bait somebody into this. There's the lift up. They end up bringing in one, keeping Slayer a little bit more alive, but that's going to end up being a dead Io right at the start of this.
Yeah, he was actually mid-Fiend's Grip on the Rubik when he got telekinesis, and then costing the Io.
Ulti used, Nightmare retrieved, and now maybe going to be able to find the kill on this Bane, but that should be about the extent of it. And in the meantime, they take out the rest of the jungle. So Vega Squadron, I don't know, that was a really odd series of events.
Radiant structures.
Yeah, they're trying to bait something down bottom here with the Centaur, but I don't think they're going to fall for it.
I guess I really expected with that single pull that they're going to try and like TP in some heroes and really push the top tier 1 tower, because they had a big wave with everything on it, but I don't know. TP's coming in now, and Storm Spirit's already committed for this. G in a hell of a lot of trouble. He just might end up going down. They managed to find the sleep. Really well played.
Oh, just gets punished a bit for playing aggressively there. Not expecting the TPs to have been coming so early. He was thinking, like, if I dive right now, yes, maybe a couple heroes will TP, but unbeknownst to him, they were already halfway through those TPs, so hardly punished. The Dire at least do see this haste rune up top, and maybe they can turn a kill with that. But we're still waiting on the first split. No pressure for Last Hero this game. He hasn't had to do anything,
Radiant's
just
top
farming
tower
up.
is under attack.
Yeah, I'm really... Again, I don't like to harp on points too much, but it just felt to me so clear that Vega Squadron were trying to move up to the top lane. They gave that huge wave, so now, like, Brew is level 9. He got all that CS under tower, and he is in just such a better position than the Centaur, and now trying to turn this back around onto the real you. They might even be able to find this kill onto him if they bring in other heroes, and gonna go out for the hurl boulder. That connects. They have the lift up as well.
Wind Panda at all.
Yeah, that was a little bit awkward.
He's getting body blocked, so now he's in too deep. Maybe not a Brewmaster player.
That was odd.
Or he's just not feeling it today. Maybe the control groups aren't quite on or something.
Yeah.
So they've been playing a little bit of Brewmaster lately, so it's not quite there. Radiant scan will say yes, there are still heroes there.
I was kind of surprised. I was wondering if like the Brestomans were going to TP in another hero or two and, like you said, maybe lift somebody up with the tornado or something.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It's the classic Brewmaster play. You got a little bit too hyped after what you just did. Oh, of course, Fiend's Grip, but
yeah, that's not going to work. They don't have Sonic Wave either, but Brain Sap, pretty good ability to try and turn it back around. They're trying to bring down Afterlife. They are going to connect. The Epicenter isn't going to be used. They only needed the Burrow Strike there, and well, Afterlife ended up falling as well as the IO. The Really You sticking around here is very bold. Does still have Infest.
Fine.
Okay.
Storm forced to cancel his TP too, just because there's no real point going. I'd rather just farm the bottom wave. And now I was a little disappointed because Jao rotated in without ulti, so they couldn't get the triple kill. Probably could have got the life stealer, but on the other hand, now they're able to hold that while they push this tower. And when you're missing the Brewmaster ulti, it's pretty nice to have. So, gonna be looking for those Vega heroes to start pushing these other lanes, trying to abuse it. The Blink Dagger done for last hero now means the next split should be a little bit more successful.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, 6-6, 14 minutes in, and maybe now with Sonic Wave off of cooldown and Brewmaster split can be off cooldown in 30 seconds, TBM could think about making something happen. You also have that blink on the Sand King like you were chatting about. Looking for the opening.
I was looking at the Brewmaster. That's ridiculous. Sand King. Nice. That's huge. It's more farm than Centaur.
Look at this. There's 4 heroes around the Real You. I don't know if you realize what's happening, but they also have the IO in the area. Not going to be able to have the relocate safe. Really, you just going to armlet toggle his way out of there, as well as get the TP, but they should be able to find this kill on the IO, most likely.
Nice, need no option there. A really good play by Sobat there. Just go Brain Sap right into the Nightmare, gets the attacks off too, and then team able to just catch right up. So 3K lead here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And this Centaur is not going to ever get to that. Well, I mean, he might later, but certainly not in this early game. He's not going to be that terrifying feature because, again, the single target is definitely a lot of magic based here, but that's fine. He got no farm, he has no hood. Life Stealer gripped up in the top lane.
And he actually had already used Rage as well. Managed to get that one off first, but now going to infest inside one of these heroes. The Epicenter going to be missed right now by Kilomancer. Vega are actually able to outplay them for the moment at least. Can they find any more off the back of this? The Sonic Wave is out, but they're not able to kill off Slayer. Man, Vega completely demolished him that fight and going to take down last year as well. Maybe? No, not quite. Did he do the Blink Dagger trick?
Cautious. I don't think that doesn't work anymore, right? Probably just got open wounds and didn't get right-clicked or something.
Got it.
Yeah, you have to be so cautious with early leads right now. You can't give anything away like that. That was definitely a super deep dive. I mean, you're near the shrine, you're in behind the tower, you're trying to Fiend's Grip a life stealer from 100 to 0. Pretty unlikely scenario to go down. These raindrops are killing Queen of Pain right now. Every time I see this little 120 pop up from her screams, and it's just really hurting her damage to try and burst down this Rubik or Isle. This Isle doesn't have any right now.
I thought for sure that was going to be a kill on the Slayer, but like you said, raindrops save lives, sticks save lives. This is a kind of an interesting build by the Rubik as well, going for the Soul Ring. So he's got like a good amount of HP regen, 6.3, because of all the changes with Mangoes in the stick now, having some in Soul Ring. It's kind of a cool little play.
Yeah, that is nice actually. Arcanes are pretty expensive, so just after yourself and be alright. What's G at now? The Fresh Bloodstone. This is their game now for Vega Squadron. Get like 2 or 3 kills onto G and the rest of the team can look so easy. The Queen of Pain Orchid will be the big deal here, and that's also out and done. So, if they kill G 3 times, game is done. Great stuff. But I can't really expect him to put himself in that kind of position. He's going to wait until Queen of Pain has made that readily visible before jumping into any of these fights. At least once they know it's there. I'm sure they know it's close, but they're not quite fully aware of it being free.
Oh, they know now, and they're going to use it to bully. He was getting closer to the blink dagger. He ends up losing about 100 gold, and well, the turnaround. They're trying to make it happen. Can they find the kill? Again, it's a little bit scary, but they do have that big ultimate coming out from the gyrocopter. They take down one. Can they find another? Actually, Bane is somehow going to live again. Raindrops saving lives. They get the silence out onto the Lifestealer, trying to bring him down. A long duration stun as well. G not able to dodge away from that rocket, and well, they do end up losing last hero. Vega again somehow able to play themselves out of a bad situation.
Yeah, they absorbed a lot of damage with the Lifestealer there, and then just relocated them out. So at that point, they were kind of out of resources for the side of the Radiant. There was maybe a chance on the Storm Spirit, but he kept walking away. They ended up getting the Orchid on. Orchid's Lifestealer.
Oh! He died to the burn, I think. And now G, again, gonna try and take down one. They do hit the Stolen Queen of Pain ulti, which found the kill onto the Bane.
Couple nice steals this game already. Found himself the Fiend's Grip and now the Sonic Wave.
Well, I guess that's something to think about. He's always going to be able to get that.
He had the Shadow Strike on him when he toggled. That's what killed him.
Ah, good call.
I was just checking. Look at the comment. Interesting. So he was trying to toggle back up before the soul burn probably, but rough stuff there for old Lifestealer.
We also have Gyrocopter, who went for a very peculiar build this time. Lincoln Sphere first.
This is kind of a classic for a while, but then, yeah, it definitely fell off. I mean, the day age kind of stuff is always S and Y all the time, gyro build, run it kind of stuff, but this game, the Lincolns, just so Storm can't jump on top of them and create that big initiation. I like that.
Yeah. Well, and still doing what gyros do best, taking out a couple of large camps stacked up for himself. So another nice little infusion of gold in this Gyrocopter. It's getting pretty big.
They're baiting G here. But not going to fall for it. Killimancer. I think he kind of senses this. Yeah, he's out.
Man, really good recognition there. And Smoke may be about to break. They do break it down to 2. They managed to find Killimancer, blow him up quickly with the Infest Bomb. I don't know if they're going to be able to find it anymore. G going in deep for this one, but the turnaround, can they make it work? They have the ulti out from the Brewmaster already. The silence, the Fiend's Grip on the Storm Spirit. They can't take it off of them. They're going to end up losing everybody. No, managed to get out. G just barely on absolutely nothing. And now the epicenter turnaround. Vega, they only lose one right there. Can they get out with the real U? Armlet Toggle is there, but is it going to be enough? He's trying to get his way out of there, but they take down 4. Vega went really freaking deep there, and they get punished.
I can't believe he survived. I thought he was dead for sure. That was actually crazy. All right, very nicely done from the side of a Brestomans, though. They didn't get the Storm Spirit, yes, but they got everything else. Cost them a buyback, so the overall gold gain isn't that high. However, it's only on the same team who already has this blink dagger, so that is A-okay. Nice initiation there from our Brewmaster. Hops right in, gets the clap off, and starts splitting it up. Able to combo up with the follow-up from the Orchid, too. Just G controlled up through so much of that fight, but keeping his Bloodstone charge is so important. So bad's just going to find his TP at the very last moment.
Yeah, that was really close. But the thing that's crazy about that is, like, you mentioned if G dies 3 times this game, it's going to be pretty much over. He didn't die in that last fight, even though it looked really bad, and he's still hanging on to 17 Bloodstone charges. How concerned are you about the Storm Spirit right now if you're Brestomans?
Pretty damn concerned. He's so hard to kill. Like, you try and Fiend's Grip him, and Slayer's just been on point every single time, always getting the Fiend's Grip grab. He's able to just counter instantaneously. And then the Nightmares have been traded off very well as well, so it's easier for them to, like, kind of avoid those situations where people are closing in just while Nightmare's holding on to someone. We have the relocate saves. And Vega are fully aware of just how important G's lives are here, and they're just going to throw their bodies at the side of Brestoman if that's what it takes. So it's going to take a lot to kill him. Nice.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That was a scary one. Brown boots and a blink dagger. Killimancer living on a hope and a prayer.
That's the Suns fan special there. That's why I talked about how much he hates Centaur. Worst stun in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you have enough time to blink out in a situation like that. He's a rough guy to try and play right now.
I mean, it works when you're playing at a lower level, though. That's for damn sure. Nobody blinks out.
Yeah, there you go.
Top tower is under attack.
Wind up.
Well, two towers traded.
Radiant's bottom tower is
The other thing, I mean, we're talking about trading towers. Roche would be
Dyer's
obviously
top
another big
tower
thing that
has fallen.
they haven't really been able to do
Radiant's
so far in the
bottom
Radiant,
tower
but the
has fallen.
Vlad's is flying out now to the Brewmaster, so it does make it a little bit easier. Still
Ooh.
definitely not a fabulous game.
The turnaround. They had the Orchid out on the Storm Spirit. That keeps Killomancer alive, and now they're relocated in as well. And Bean Script onto Storm Spirit. Can they blow him up? They do get him this time. And actually, Vega Squadron again in trouble. They overcommitted. Can they make this work? They have a Nightmare Stone from Rubik as well. Afterlife is going to go down. It's looking good for a moment, but G tries to get back into the fight. He takes down Killomancer, but they do have the rocket on him. Can G get out of this one? I think the answer is yes again.
He should be okay. He gets back in there for one more pickup, so that's nice. We'll zip on the
Dyer's
rocket.
middle tower has fallen.
But he's down to 12 charges, so check one off. Nicely done. Couple great plays from the Brestomans in that fight. And this time, Slayer could not find the angle. He really needs that mobility item, but now he's playing 5. He's an IO on his team. Even IO's pretty poor, but Tranquil's Soul Ring. There's no blink for a long time here on Rubik. So Bane should continue to be pretty successful then.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that's kind of interesting, too, in that last fight, you saw the Queen of Pain, like, blink into the trees just to make sure that they got that Orchid onto the Storm Spirit. It feels like Vega are really trying to be aggressive over and over again. Do you feel like they need to, like, is there a team that's more comfortable going into the late game?
I'd say it's pretty even. These days, late game is such a toss-up with this refresher shard, man. It's just all about who can fight Roche.
Yeah.
In that sense, I guess the Dire have an advantage, but I think they can take Roche a little bit faster. Just like the general like life stealer, right clicks and everything, open wounds help quite a bit for your whole team.
What am I missing?
A Bane kill.
All right. We'll see if they can get him. Nightmare there. And Brain Sap's a good ability, but not good enough. Well, I was thinking about Refresher Orb actually a little bit, or the Refresher Shard rather. There's not really a great hero on Vega to use it, is there?
No, mostly just items, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. In fact, Stampede, I guess, would be the best one. He's actually going to try and build a Shadow Blade Midas as his current queue. He's trying to decide. He's like, depends on how this next couple of minutes go here, but Gyrocopter into another terrifying item, the Lincolns and the Butterfly. 2 expensive ones, but very good once you have them. So they will take Roche with this Vlad. Fighting into the pit. They have a good on G, but I don't think showing up here.
Yeah.
Look at his 10 mana regen. So helpful here. With the Ring of Aquila, he can just spam non-stop this Rocket Barrage.
I don't know why, but Roche was like deafeningly loud to me in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was, but...
Echoing on the pits, I know, lost some of the soundproofing on the walls or something. Updates, man, you can't keep track.
Oh, yeah. Well, BKB is there for the Queen of Pain. G might think about trying to bait that out from her.
Where's my pension?
Try and cut the next wave, I guess. Surprisingly, they're all gathering top, though. Bottom is certainly the place to be. Looks like that'll be Killomancer's task to push this out.
Radiant's top
And there it is. Wow, they actually found G.
All right. They BKB'd preemptively, but can't find the kill. The Queen of Pain actually BKB'd as she TP'd into the tower. Don't know what that was all about, but it looks like Io is going to be pulled back in and Sayak going to drop.
No, I didn't see what happened, so I'm not sure what they saw. But nice little play, I suppose, from the out, just to kind of hang out. They do Beto to play onto the Storm Spirit. I'm not sure if they consider that worth it, but bottom lane, they do at the same time blow up the Sand King. So he wasn't fast enough this time. He's been sitting here pushing this wave, so... Overall, I call this a pretty big Dire win, right? They're down in net worth. The enemy team has the Aegis. You're trading favorably and getting pressure onto these buildings like this.
Oh, yeah.
Bottom lane needs to be dealt with.
Well, it's a 4,000 net worth lead right now. Is that indicative to you of sort of where we stand, that it's, you know, the Radiant ahead but not by a ton? Or do you think that there's sort of more to the story here?
No, I'd say so. I mean, they definitely want to get a lot done, right? With this Aegis, they'd love to clear up this last tower and try and get a tier 3. High ground is not the easiest thing with their lineup on the Brestomans. The most effective thing they can do is probably send in last hero and just be really disruptive up on the high ground. But he has a pretty hard game right now. At this point, Wind Panda is probably your most important thing, where you're just trying to toss someone up and out of the entire engagement. So you think of the Storm Spirit or the Life Stealer, But they both have Lincoln Sphere. Or no, the Lincoln Sphere is done for the life, so it's not done quite yet for G. He's still working on it. But once those are both done, he basically just has to focus the man, it's such a runner. Afterlife was such a quick blink. Holy, he just barely escaped the burrow strike into the tree line there.
He finishes his Midas.
Well, it's not Shadowblade, guys.
Yeah.
We're hanging out for a bit, it looks like.
I mean, it's definitely, I guess Shadowblade wouldn't necessarily help a ton with defending high ground anyways, so.
No, it's all about the split push cat.
Yeah. This is a tough one. Tower is starting to go down. They need to come in and defend this.
Now. They wanted to get the glyph before the split. I don't really like that, but we'll see.
One Panda, they find themselves in Afterlife. But it looks like in spite of that glyph already being used, maybe they're going to be able to turn this back around. They have the BKB there, still for the Queen of Pain, but the big damage coming out. Can they find these kills in time? That is the Gyrocopter doing so much damage. Ultra kill for him in a matter of seconds.
He wasn't even hitting people. He was just focusing the building. That was Woo! All right, Brestomans.
Radiant.
That, you know, Brewmaster makes a little stage, took some damage on the buildings. I thought the glyph would be a little bit more impactful there. They can actually find a good jump, but just way too much damage from that Gyrocopter.
I'm just shocked.
Roadrunner, he looked good, but it wasn't, you know, he never got the items to actually be terrifying. I thought he was going to have such a good game, but without making any sort of a swap to try and, like, I thought maybe they'd try and fight the Gyro with the Lifestealer. Obviously, that didn't happen. I think the IO was, like, 0 impact this game other than some saves. They, like, never got ahead enough to actually make use of that kind of stuff. So, very well played by the Brestomans.
I'm just shocked that the game ended that quickly. Like, it was just suddenly over. I don't know.
Yeah, they've been building up to that, I suppose. And obviously with them all dying like that, I thought they were just going to give up the racks, but it was just they tried to fight it. They all died, and then you're like, all right, well, we're definitely losing 2 racks now. Call it. Get me out.
I guess that's the other thought is, like, don't try and fight from such a deficit. Just reset yourself for game number 2. If they end up winning this series, then they would have to move on and play a 3rd series later on today, because we do have 3 that are going to be going today, 3 best of 3s. But really crazy stuff. I just was sort of flabbergasted at, I guess, just how much damage got done, because he was just attacking the buildings, I guess, like you were saying, but the 3 flak cannon charges, he got an ultimate off onto 4.
Yeah, butterfly. Like,
how much damage did this guy do? Just 17,000, but I guess that was in a game that was relatively short. I guess I'm just not used to seeing games end after the first Aegis anyways.
Yeah, it's true. Jeez. Where was our cheese? Where is that Roche Freshers? I've seen everyone calling it.
Jesus.
I can't say it. I'm just going to start messing it up. I'm sticking with the shard. I'm sorry.
I like it. That's better.
Game 2, Brewmaster, I think, definitely needs to be a consideration. So we'll see if that just kind of gets banned out the first phase, along with the Beastmaster, and we'll try and find, just like the difference in offlaners. You saw it at the start of the game, right? Like, this Brewmaster can just do whatever he wants in the lane. The Central Roner had such a rough time. Beastmaster's the same thing, but that's why they both kind of deserve to be banned out right now. They just don't. You think about other heroes that can do anything, and I think of like Darkseer and stuff, but that hero just doesn't contribute the same way that a Beastmaster and a Brewmaster can to your mid game. He just wants to, like, avoid and dodge everyone.
I mean, the Blink Dagger came out 5 minutes earlier for the Sand King than it did for the Centaur. I think you're gonna have to spread some sad news to Suns fan that this hero is not a hero.
That's his take on it. He's upset with how much the hero's been winning.
All right.
So, but yeah, it looks like we're just getting everyone back in, so it shouldn't be too long before game number 2 here, folks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Brestomans versus Vega Squadron. It's the Summit 8. It's Lyrical and Trent Pax, your 2 casters. You can give us a follow on Twitter if you want, at Lyrical Dota, at Trent Pax. We'll be back in a few with game number 2.